Many of my peers and my family always question on me on why I didn't purchase a house. I've made a very good income and I have no instant gratification towards buying a house. I saw what my father did in the past, trying to be a tycoon looking like. And this is one of the houses that my dad bought before we sold it and someone has demolished and built a double story house. We go back to year 2006. Alright? I'm trying to remember here. That's 14. Okay. So my dad did a lot. Alright? We don't have any old photos. There was two massive trees my dad cut it down. This brings a lot of memories. My dad's an idiot and started to, there was, I think this, you guys call it box tree. It was like that high, cut it all off. My dad got rid of the fence and make a sand block. My dad tried to concrete slab the driveway. Yeah, it was a lot more, what can I say? There was a lot more trees than just baby trees. My dad tried to, sell the house, up the value. Oh gosh, this brings back memories when I'm looking at this. And yeah, that was the house, and just to show you guys what has happened, the sold property right now, this is like basically, this is the range that we're talking about. It's a lot of money. But look at here, my dad bought the house 2004, 972,000. My dad sold it as that renovation that showed you guys, 820k. My dad, you could say, lost 152,000. On top of that, you gotta add 2 more years. What's that word called again? Interest rate. My dad lost a lot. During that time, dad selling the house, dad just went through a separation. Anything could happen. Now, see the history in the past. There you go. He didn't went back up. Alright. So here's another property that my dad bought, and it has been knocked down to build 3-4 story units. And I'm not going to show you year 2000 because that's not relevant to us. It was the time that my dad bought this house, and I was the only last person to get the first homeowner grant. Why do they have a 2009? It's 2009, not 2008. That tree was cut down eventually. That's a massive tree. My dad made a balcony pergola even bigger. He extended inside there with the lounge room. We've built another room there and another room here. This turned to a granny flat, double garage. We also make a port as well, veranda. That's what it looks at the back. My dad got rid of that tree. There's a massive tree up there. We got rid of, cut it off. Like I said, we made extra room here. Alright. My dad refurbished it, but not the best job. That was my bedroom. And that's what it looks like at the front. We cut that tree down. And look where we did. My dad got rid of it and trying to use this new material called cement sheet and render it. Like I said, with everything, we try to modernize everything. You see. During my dad, he actually wasn't successful selling the house during the auction. Right, I'm not gonna say that. So we've bought, that was under my name, 491,000, 7 days listing. That 37 days listing on 2016, that probably made more than 600,000. You guys can figure out the maths. Well, 700,000, easy money. But Dad didn't sell it on the auction day, and somehow it went through. Here's another property my dad is getting a lot better with his building. I'm not gonna look at this. I just look at before pictures. My dad spent a lot of money. My dad bought the house in year 2014. That was towards the end. I was about to move to Melbourne. It was non-livable place. It was junk of a junkyard. Okay, so you can tell here. That's what it looks like. My dad has refurbished. Now got a city view. That's upstairs. That's their bedroom. That's the back balcony and the garage. Look how much my dad has input everything. You know, change the color. That was March, and they've been told my dad has to change the color. You know, everything has to change to this color. Looks a lot better. 2020. He didn't sell the house, and I think he didn't sold. Yeah, 2020 and before that month he didn't sold as well. It took a long time. You know, I still remember this vividly. Sold. Right, and made money. Alright, let me go back. Dad bought it for 923k. Dad sold it for 237. You can see here 110 days he did not sold. So this, my maths is not that great, 6-7 years, the amount of mortgage and everything, he didn't make much because he put like $500,000-$600,000 on the renovation of his house, and he has to be soundproof because of the air. You know, it's a international planes are flying through over the head every 2 minutes or 130 seconds, and that's why I say flipping the houses. I brought up in this area of flipping houses, and there's one more house I'm not going to show you guys because he tried to put it on the market 3-4 times and it couldn't be sold, and that house sold more than this. It's just how much risk do you have to go through? You know, when my dad bought these houses, he can flip it up, change it, whatever. Just imagine you bought a house for you to live on. The amount of work you have to go through. For example, maintenance, you know, and then you got like councils and, you know, land tax, and you got like everything what my dad did. And that literally stirred me away not to do building at all, not to buy houses, because I saw what my dad's gone through. And what I've learned through my dad's journey and elaborate on crypto is the fact that you could be a hoarder, hold on the money, right? You can't be sold. You may not sell the right price, you know? And this is where it becomes a problem. There's another house I'll show you. My dad bought this property long while ago. This is probably back in 1998. Of course, this is the price nowadays. But like, my dad couldn't sell 510k on that day. He bought it 380k, and it just doesn't work out the same way. And he has to use his family members to be a fake bidder, and didn't went through. They went too aggressive. Here's another house in Auburn that we used to have. My dad had to bought a house and fix it up. He got a leftover paint and paint the fence in sky blue, extension from the back as well. So this is like when I was a kid. And I'm just trying to think here. Yeah, they fenced it up. That's with a different owner. Gosh, that looks bad. What have they done to the house? This is the part that we lived in. That would have sold 1 million. But look at the sold history my dad bought. September 11. That was before September 11. 300k. My dad sold it for 591k. It's just the amount of work my dad had to go through, and it's not worth it. And people say you should buy a house, you should flip it, you should make money. These are the stories that I could tell you, and I'm no interest because interest rate goes up, hoarding, maintenance. At the end of the day, you're not making money. It sounds like you're making money, but really you're not making money. You know, like these are the houses that my dad has to go through, and it's not going great. And I saw that, and I knew straight away I'm not gonna touch any houses ever again. I saw what my dad go through, and what crypto made me look at, or you trading, whatever you guys call it, is you buy it low, you try to flip it to make big. And I saw what my dad did. But in the crypto or trading world, you can wait and wait and wait. There's no maintenance. There will be a sharp decline, and you try to pick it up, whatever. But there's no blood on the paper that you're owing the bank for another 20 or 30 years when you play like that. So when it comes to hoarding, buying a chip, flip it, or keep hoarding it, this is where it becomes. And this is what I said. It's just how much rent can you fill it up? Rent it, you know, $600 rent it, $520. Like it's just, how much can you really rent it out? The answer is you can't. You can't really rent much to make that much money. You got maintenance and servicings and X, Y, and Z. It's just too much.